Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on The Cursed, a new horror movie. I think it's about vampires. I mean, you look at it, it's got like a vampire vibe to it, and I like this weird sort of like fake silver teeth with magical runes on them, with fangs. It's pretty awesome. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Check it out. Support the channel if you can. Buy a book. Kindle Unlimited is free now. They bury this woman alive, but she's not alive. She's a vampire. And then they pull up this scarecrow to mark her grave, but then it's also a vampire too? I'm not sure. There's some weird stuff going on here. Weird stuff. And it takes place, looks like Victorian times, maybe Downington Abbey times, a little before that, a few hundred years, maybe 100 years before that, early in the Victorian era. So it's a good era to do this kind of stuff because the technology's not there, and so people don't know as much. And here's a scene of like an invisible guy just attacking this woman. And it gets pretty gruesome in the trailer here. There's a lot of gruesome scenes, a lot of people screaming with fangs and looking half dead, a lot of burials going on. Pull this woman under the water. Man, it looks cool. It looks cool. This guy, snakes. You got this girl here. People dying left and right in this movie. See if I can get to the shot of this one guy. Looks really cool. He's got the silver fangs in his mouth. See, I'm gonna have to play. There it is. There it is. Like, what's the deal with these fangs? Do you put them in your mouth and become a vampire? Is that what he's doing? And then this guy who's like he's like half scarecrow, half vampire. I guess he's covered up, or maybe it's not a vampire. It's called The Curse, so they're being a bit cagey about what these characters are, and so maybe it's not vampires. It might be werewolves. Maybe. Let's see if they say anything here. Synopsis: in a rural 19th century France. Oh, it's France. A mysterious, possibly supernatural menace threatens a small village. John McBride, a pathologist, comes to the town to investigate the danger and exorcise some of his own demons in the process. So it's a little bit like that Johnny Depp movie. And here's the credits. Let's see who wrote this thing. Written and directed by Sean Ellis. That name sounds familiar to me. But it looks great. Oh man, the look of this thing. I'm surprised that it's France. It struck me immediately. I immediately assumed England because of the look of it, but I guess they're pretty similar in that era. So France. So this is a French thing. French vampire movie, I would say. Oh boy, I hit it. Boom, right there. A lot of people say, "Oh, do you watch the trailer?" Yeah, I watch the trailer. I don't just click through it. What the hell would I learn if I just click through it? I don't know why people ask that question. I click through it, and the reason I'm clicking through it is because YouTube has flagged me over and over again for playing any part of the trailer. Whether I tried it without sound, I already tried it without sound, and it didn't work. So this way, I never get flagged. So there's a lot of screaming in this movie, as you can see. I'm down for this movie. What's the date on it? I believe it's February 18th. Yeah, looks cool. Only in theaters. Wow. Looks cool as hell. All right, so if I broke this movie down, I would say probably the first act is the first disappearance of a young kid. I believe the young boy disappears, and that initiates the whole thing. And they ask for this guy McBride to come in. He's got a past, of course, because it makes him a more interesting character. He comes in. I don't think that's him. I think that's one of the other guys. He comes in. A lot of strange stuff is happening, and eventually, the strange stuff gets out of control. This is another one of the guys. This is the maid that gets killed. So yeah, that's crazy. The teeth. Let's see if I can get a shot of John. There he is. So that's your main character there. So he comes in to investigate, but he's only got so many tools. He investigates. It's odd, but at first they try to pass it all off as something normal, quote unquote. Eventually, it gets weirder and weirder the longer he stays. He starts to fight the monsters, and slowly but surely everybody gets caught up as people die, and then he is sort of the lead guy who has to kill these things. And can he? I don't know. It's called The Curse, so again, it might not be vampires, but it looks really close to vampires. I mean, the fangs in the fake set of teeth seem pretty clear to me that it's vampires. I don't know why anybody would put fake vampire teeth in their mouth, but I mean, this looks creepy. Look at this. That is creepy as F, right? So yeah, I think this is going to be good. I'm down for this movie. So February 18th in theaters. I'd even go to the theaters to see this. This looks great. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? Just the look of it, because it's so dark and got a shadowy, old-timey look to it. The Witch. I don't know if you ever saw The Witch. It was really good. Now that was a more like peasants in America, but this has that feel. Man, this is a horror movie. It's called The Cursed. So check it out from Sean. I'm giving it an upvote. I like it so much I upvoted it. Look at that. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Bitchute, Rumble, and Odysee for our more base takes. I'm trying to cut back on the news blast. Well, not the news blast, but the Hollywoke hot take. I'm going to cut education out of it and put that back into news because, before I was sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel for Hollywood news. Now it's just everywhere. So, but I still had 45 minutes today. So it's 45 minutes, and my news blast, which I haven't even uploaded, is 45. But a lot of stuff happening today. A lot of stuff. And if you want to hear about it, can't hear too much of it on YouTube, unfortunately. So we'll see you in the next one.